MOFFATCOUNTYPROUD.COM is excited to bring you 2017 Colorado High School football. Tonight's game features the visiting Rawlins, Wyoming Outlaws and your Moffat County High School Bulldogs. Tonight's game is brought to you by these Moffat County Proud businesses: Severson Supply and Rental, the Memorial Hospital, Bank of Colorado, Victory Motors, Hatton Enterprises, Miller Family Appliance, 3B Enterprises, Cornerstone Realty, GCR Tires and Service, Precision Auto Service, 360 Insurance Company, Mountain West, Kramer Flooring, McDonald's, DNP Duran and Pierce Contractors, Cook Chevrolet Ford and Subaru, Country Living Realty, Draper Insurance Group, Great Divide Cleaning Service, Chaos Inc., Young Life, Rocky Mountain Machinery, your Kubota dealer, Epp & Associates, Rocky Mountain Automotive, Colorado Northwestern Community College, Identity Graphics, Craig Veterinary Hospital, Craig Family Dental, Brass Key Realty, and Mountain Air Spray. The schools taking part in today's event are part of the nearly 355 members of the Colorado High School Activities Association. As member schools, we promote and protect the privilege of participation in interscholastic athletics and activities. We also promote lifetime values like respect, hard work, teamwork, sporting behavior, and citizenship. We help reach and motivate students. We develop policies as a group and enforce them as a responsibility of membership. We are coaches, game officials, and administrators, voluntarily working for the common good of kids. We are the Colorado High School Activities Association. Here with my partner in crime, Shane Hadley. We have the big matchup tonight, season opener 2017. So last year, Shane, the Bulldogs ended up 5-4 overall, and the Rawlins Outlaws ended up 4-5 on the season. But Rawlins came out on top that first game of the season last year, edging us out 15-12.
Yeah, if you remember, it was a heartbreaking loss, Kip. We had the ball in possession with about a minute and a half left, and we had a couple plays where we just weren't aware of the clock, it seemed. And, you know, you understand, these are high schoolers' first game of the season, but we ran out of bounds and we stopped the clock. And then we went for it, and we were on the 40-yard line of Rawlins. We decided to go for it instead of punting them deep into their own end. And, hey, I understand the aggressive thought there, but we didn't punt. So we turn it over. And then Rawlins proceeds in the last minute, which they would have had only about 15 seconds if we don't run out of bounds, to go down and hit the bomb on an out fake and then an up go pattern, which as a defensive back, you've got to be thinking there's not much time here. I can let them catch short, but they cannot beat me deep. And just like that, with about 8 seconds on the clock, we were stunned and we had lost 15-12.
So the Bulldogs hope to be on the other side of the coin tonight and not see that happen again. The Bulldogs are led by a core of seniors and at varied positions, really spread out, but a good group. Shane, who are some of those seniors?
Let's start right at the top of the list here. Number 2, we've got Alex Navarra, and then we also jump in there. We have honorary right now, Nathan Baker. He's out there in heart and spirit. He's not able to play, but he's been a great player for us, had a severe injury. Glad he's out there. We also, going down the list, have Dominic Pischetti. He's going to be our horse of a fullback, tailback, / linebacker, do it all. Might even kick a little bit for us. And then we have Torrin Hume, a horse of a lineman, 6'6", 215. Easily probably our biggest player, and he will push the line defensively and offensively. Then as I move on down, we've got Colby Beckett, another 6'5", 220. One thing, Kip, size we do have on our offensive and defensive line. He will do a great job for us. Then you have Zane Shipman. He's just now back with the team. We wish him the best of luck. I don't think he can play tonight, but he will be playing down the road, and gosh, I hope he has the best year of his life. Then we have Spencer Brown, who's going to do great things in the backfield of the offense and the defense. Then we have Mackenzie Klimper. He was an all-state player for us last year at linebacker and kick-ridden punt returner. And then on the offensive side of the ball, he's a wing, tight end, however you want to look at it. He will be looking to get the ball in all kinds of positions. Want to get him the ball out there as many times as we can. Let him have a chance to make big plays happen. Then you have Marcus Delgado, another incredible young man who's going to do things for us all over the ball. And finally, you have Braden Barnes, who's a senior, 5'11", 205, and he will be all over the field, special teams and offensive and defense also.
Yeah, great group of seniors, and we're excited to watch them play. So, Shane, tonight, one of the things we do every year is we talk about our keys to the game, and our keys to the game tonight are brought to you by Severson Supply and Rental. We thank Dan Severson and family down there for all that they do, supporting Moffat County Proud and getting us on-demand video to you to where you can enjoy the game wherever and whenever you want. All right, so first key to the game is limit turnovers.
Well, Kip, I think anyone who has knowledge of football knows that early in the season, the defenses are way ahead of the offenses. So a punt is not a bad thing. You want to take control of that field position, keep your defense out there on the field. If you're not able to move it offensively, you do not want to turn it over. I know that's cliche, but the last thing in the world you want, especially early in the season, is a turnover. Move the ball if you can, but punt it and play field position.
Yeah, and a week ago we saw turnover after turnover after turnover, or we could say muffed snaps in the scrimmage with the Bulldogs. And so hopefully they've worked on that this week, and that doesn't happen and factor in to tonight. So number 2 on the list for our keys to the game is the Bulldogs have to control the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and if you were listening, and I know you were here on MOFFATCOUNTYPROUD.COM, we just mentioned the size of our offensive line. We've got several players up over 210, 215, 220, 6'5". You've got to control that line. If you have that size to move that field, that's what you got to do. And if you can move that defensive line down, it makes all kinds of things open up in your passing game and then coming back to your running game. So we've got to own the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and you say the size. Let me be specific. Jared Baker, 210 pounds. Drake Dougherty, 240 pounds. Colby Beckett, 220 pounds. Logan Kinez, 215 pounds. Bryson Davis, 280 pounds. Braden Barnes, 205 pounds. Everything's into 200s. I didn't say anything. I'm thinking average. You're looking at 220 plus. Biggest line we've seen here at Moffat County in probably 15 years. And so definitely you have a wall up front that could do some damage.
Well, I don't even know if I throw a pass, Kip. If I had that kind of a line at a high school level, I would run it and run it and run it until the defense commits to trying to stop that by sending backers up the middle. That opens up your outsides to sweeps or to those reverses, and then every once in a while you might throw that little fade out there to your best players on the outside, but run the heck out of the ball, especially first game of the year.
All right, the other thing that we have, Shane, is pass defense. Pass defense has got to come up big tonight. Last year's game, you talked about it earlier, the snake bit us right at the end of the game, and that was that pass, but it wasn't just then. Rawlins had several times where they ate us up inside routes when we would come up a little bit, then they would go deep on us. They did a great job mixing it up at the different levels of the field.
You know what Rawlins has a very inventive new age offense like you're seeing across the NFL and across the college levels and high school. They have their guys on the sidelines and up here where we're at looking at what the defense is doing, and all game last year you saw when things opened up or players were coming off the line of scrimmage, they went right at those people. So definitely you're going to have to stay on your man defensively and stop those passes.
All right, Bulldogs coming out to center field, going to start off with Team O and run some defense, some offense, and get ready to roll. We'll be right back with the opening kickoff. You're watching Moffat County Bulldog football on MOFFATCOUNTYPROUD.COM. Hey, it's kickoff time. Here we go. Bulldogs receive. Taken short by Atkin. He finds a seam with a nice return, brings it out near the 40.
Hey, right away, one of the keys to the game we spoke of was field position, Kip, and right now the Bulldogs start on the 40. Nice return and a really nice catch right there in the middle of the field by one of the up backs.
Yeah, Jared Atkin with the return, junior, with a nice return, brings it out to the 40 where the Bulldogs will start. First play of the season. Bulldogs going to line up in the shotgun wing, real similar to what they've been running the last couple of years. They just moved the guy back from under center. And one of the things we talked about in keys to the game, Shane, was turnovers. We saw in the scrimmage they struggle a little bit with snaps. That's one of the things the Bulldogs have to control. So in the backfield, Atkin right next to our quarterback, Colby Beaver, and Beaver a junior for the Bulldogs, tall back there. He'll give it to Atkin. He's wrapped up for a loss of 2.
Wow, and again, another one of our keys to the game very early, 2 plays in, and we said we have to control that line of scrimmage, and on that play, Rawlins' defensive line dominated our offensive line, pushed him back 2 yards into the backfield. We were lucky to only lose a half a yard on that play. Brings up 2nd down and 11.
And when you run this type of offense, you know they're going to put 9 or 10 in the box, and that's exactly what they do. 9 guys in the box, back to throw. Has a receiver for a half a second, but well covered by the Outlaws. They had 3 guys around that, and Klimper did his best to pull it in, but not much there.
And just, Kipper, when you are so bunched up like that, it's only obvious that the defense is going to be there. There was 3 defensive players around Klimper there because there was no chance, no time yet to get separation from the defenders because they're naturally in that zone because we're not spread out right now.
Bulldogs do not huddle. They're in a really slow no huddle. They'll come to the line. Reverse and smothered by the Rawlins defense. Too many guys in the backfield. They got 9, they're sending 2, and
yeah, a play like that takes too long to develop when the defense is sending the house. So 3 plays, minus 2 yards. And here's the thing, we talked about this. Punting is not the end of the world right now. I'm telling you, this is fine. You get a good punt here, but we're going to see who's punting. Now, remember last year we had an all-world punter in our quarterback, Keenan Hildebrand, and there's a timeout, Kip.
Hickson back to punt. Will be right for the Bulldogs. Looks like Jared Baker, the snapper. Nice snap. And nice punt by Hickson. So he'll send it downfield. Not going to be... they're going to pick it up. Looked like nobody was going to return it, but number 7 for the Outlaws picks it, and he has a seam as he breaks down the side. And just a little lackadaisical there for a second as it looked like great punt by Hickson, and we're going to cover it up, and then no one around, and a wise decision by number 7, Lorenzo Abel Jr. for the Outlaws gets a huge return.
Yeah, we'll see what this flag is, but one of those things too, when you're down and you're going to cover a punt, if that ball hits and bounces the wrong way, you immediately touch that ball. 4 players ran by it and didn't down. All they have to do is touch it with a fingernail.
Smother the ball. You corral the ball. Yeah, punt 101. Corral that ball, don't allow that to happen. Because you'll know that every offensive coach's nightmare, return coach's nightmare is that Lorenzo goes to pick that up and then he muffs it.
Absolutely.
And then the Bulldogs jump on it. So dangerous, but it works out well for the Outlaws.
Yeah, a little bit of luck, and now there's the numbers. The punt gains you 3 yards because of the return and the penalty. So let's see what our Bulldog defense has in store.
So they'll show a doubles look right up the gut. Good for about 2.
Yep,
nice fill by number 25, Josh Teeter.
And Rawlins spreads you out. You see on the bottom of the field here, you've got 2 wide receivers right, you've got 2 wide receivers left, a tailback about 7 yards deep. Gotta love this setup.
And Bulldogs jump, and the Outlaws are going to move ahead of number 5, 5 more with the hard count. Yeah, and if you're Rawlins right now, you're looking at the slot receivers. We have a 15-yard cushion. Well, 10, 11, 12, 13-yard cushion. They did a lot of that last year with the quick route, and that's where they go. Right what I said, there they go, and it's a big gain. And that's what they did last year, and we talked about that pass defense and keys to the game. That's what we got to step up on.
Yeah, you've got eyes in the booth, One of our great friends and a former coach up here, Olinger, I guarantee you, he's right now looking at the way this defense is set up to the left of us. He's saying, hey, man, they're off 12 yards right now. Hit it until they stop it.
So the Outlaws show trips inside the Bulldog 30. Give right up the middle. Looked like we had a blitz on there by Teeter and came in flying, but just missed the tackle.
Yeah, really good job right there. Our big boy, number 71, with a nice hit. That's Colby Beckett. He introduces himself. 2nd down and 6.
Nose guard for the Bulldogs right now, Bryson Davis inside. Bulldogs look to be set up in a 42. Give up the middle. Nice cut by the Outlaws. That's number 9, Brad Williams, sophomore, 5'9", 150 pounds, and it's going to be another first down for the Outlaws as they have a good drive going.
No huddle, a very modern offense, as we said, and this is the beauty of this offense, my friend. You spread them out, there's a lot of room to run.
And a quick no huddle. They're setting the chains and they're snapping the ball. Looks over to the coach, audible, and they're sending it in. checking the defense, making the call. Right up the gut again, counter right up the middle. Nice hit by Teeter in there, but need a few more Bulldogs in there to strip that ball out. Bulldogs need a turnover right now.
Yes, sir. Joshua Teeter, Jr., he was the only man between Rawlins and the end zone right there, and he makes a nice tackle. And they're just going to keep doing this until we make adjustments. And, man, I have called offense for this type of offense before, and it is so much fun because there's so many choices and so much time to make it with the no huddle.
Staying in doubles formation, pistol in the backfield. Quick pass.
Oh, Klimper has it.
Klimper almost had it. Great defense by Mickey Klimper. And really surprised on that call by the Outlaws, as well as they've been running it and down inside the 10-yard line. But they still got really 2 more downs to get 6 yards.
Absolutely. And Klimper right there did a great job reading the eyes of the quarterback. Almost made a drive-ending, maybe early in this game, game-changing play. And they're going to hand off right up that middle again, see where they're at.
Ball getting right up the middle.
It's all about the spot, and it's hard to see with the dome that is in the center of this field. So let's see where they mark this.
Going to bring up 4th down and a long 2.
Big play early in this
big play
game.
for the Bulldogs. Just a huge stop right now. The Bulldogs defense, time to stand strong right here.
They're about the 5-yard line.
Pistol formation. Steps back to pass. Looks in the back of the end zone. Lets it sail way over his head. Covered back there by Teeter. Great job, Bulldog defense, as they keep the Outlaws out of the end zone.
Yes, they stood up and held when it mattered most in that red zone. And now that field position, though, is huge. The Bulldogs have a long ways to go, but let's see if they can at least shift the
Hey, want to
field.
see Dominic Paschetti get involved here at that fullback position. See if he can get some yards. They step back to pass. Beaver has a great arm. Has Klimper over there, but I'll tell you what, not a bad pass. Klimper not able to reel it in, but he had 2 Outlaws right on him. It probably would have been no gain if he would have caught it.
Yeah, it looked right there like Klimper trying to do the Odell Beckham Jr. reached out one hand and not able to pull it in. But I do like the idea that they're trying to get the ball into their skill position players, their playmakers. They just got to get it in their hands a little better and give them a chance to make a play. That brings up 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, Colby Beaver has a great arm. Watched him throw in the scrimmage. He threw really well. Right up the middle to Atkin, and he is smothered by a swarm of Outlaws.
And just like we
no
said,
gain.
Yeah, this play now, 3rd down, huge because you're so deep in your own territory. Obviously, you don't want to make a mistake here, but man, oh man, would you love to at least get a 1st down out of this because you're going to be punting out of your own end zone if you don't.
Bulldogs checking wristbands. Staying in the shotgun wing. Back to passes Beaver. Sits in the pocket, has some time, picked off.
Yeah, not sure who the intended receiver was there.
And even if there was a blue there was
17.
Yeah, 17 intended target was Scranton, but once again, the Outlaws got 3 guys just standing around the ball ready to smother it, and it was number 9 with the interception, Brad Williams.
That sometimes, and you've got a quarterback, it's his first year starting, he's going to learn that one you need to eat. You got to pull that back down, maybe put your head down, try to get a couple yards, but too many defenders out there.
Big hole, pretty much untouched until the end zone. And touchdown for the Outlaws. As they come back with the same play, they're just going to keep running that right up the middle.
Yeah, think about it there. You have a spread offense. You run the draw beautifully and to perfection. And it looked like Terrell Davis in the Super Bowl against the Packers. That hole opened up and he walked in.
So 6:40 left on the clock here in the first quarter. Visiting Outlaws trying to tack on one more.
It seems as though we'll get an idea now. Let's see if they can kick.
Hey, Dominic Paschetti in there with some great pressure. Great job, Dominic, as he comes flying in and keeps them from tacking on that other point. 6-0 lead for the Outlaws.
Here we go, Kip. The worst case scenario that we talked about has happened. Bulldogs quickly down 6-0.
Taken by Scranton. Cuts to the middle, has a nice wedge. He's got a seam. He breaks it. He's to the 50, to the 45, to the 40. And finally tripped up. Great return by Cale Scranton. as he takes it and almost takes it to the house.
There we go. Very positive things. Obviously, we needed that desperately. You saw some kids kind of, wow, with their heads down thinking, what happened? And now here we go. We're on their side of the field,
Right on the 40-yard line.
40 yards away from pay dirt. And let's see, let's come out. Let's spread that offense. Let's run this new offense we've been talking about. Rawlins hasn't seen that, Kip, and that's what I think. We're too bunched up right now.
Bulldogs are going to stay in the shotgun wing. Motion out of the backfield. Pitch trying to get it outside, and immediately hit, and another loss of 2.
Right now, you are so bunched up, and you've got your line right now getting blown off the line. You got to light a fire into those young men, because I know how good they are and can be. They've got to talk amongst each other and say, hey, man, we've got to start moving this line the other direction, because Moffat County's stat line right now is -5 yards and an interception.
6 minutes on the clock. Brings up a 2nd and 12. Same formation. Trying the sweep. That time it was going to number 3, Greg Hickson, and he's able to get maybe a yard.
Again, he did the best he could, but as soon as he was given the handoff, there was pressure. There are players coming from every direction for Rawlins, and we talked about that. That is just good coaching, my friend Kip. You're going to send the house against this offense because it's so bunched and tight together.
Yeah, you gotta know you're going to see 9-10 guys in the box. And they do. They have 11 guys within 8 yards of the ball. Back goes Beaver. Oh, almost picked up by Hickson. That could have went either. That was either going to be a touchdown for Hickson or it was going to be a touchdown for the Outlaws with a pick 6.
Yeah, you saw the break on that football by the Rawlins defender. He was going to the house, and he just quite didn't think about it and make that catch. And then you almost have the great luck with the catch. But nonetheless, it's 4th down, and we lost 2 yards on that series.
And I like the idea of Beaver throwing. He has a great arm. But you're right, Shane, when you're saying it, you got to spread it out. You spread it out. You go in your doubles receivers look that and spread it out and let him use that arm. Hickson gets it away. Nice punt. Beautiful roll for the Bulldogs. This time they corral it. And they're going to put the Outlaws inside their own 10-yard line with 5:05 left here on the clock. MOFFATCOUNTYPROUD.COM.
Hey, that punt may not have been aesthetically pleasing or beautiful, but it got the job done as we backed them way up into their end of the field with their back right near the goal line.
Back to pass, and it trips luck. They're going deep, going for it all. And a big catch by number 5. Looked like a little push, but no flag. And usually as an offensive receiver, you're going to get away with that kind of stuff, no doubt.
And you know, Jared Atkin right there, he had great coverage. He was right there, but he failed to turn and look when the ball was in the air. And just a great play, and just like that, that's a huge gain. Gets them out of the shadow of their own end zone. And a 1st down now all the way out at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, big play. That was Hunter Pixler Jr. For the Outlaws. They'll come right back up the middle again. That's what's been their bread and butter so far in this first quarter, and it's good for another 3 yards.
The Bulldog defense right now trying to regain their composure after having given up the early touchdown and now a big completion. And we've got our big defensive lineman in there. Rawlins again with 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left, a deep tailback. And this is modern offensive football at its best, and it's hard to know who's going to get the ball defensively here.
Quick pass. There's good defense. Mickey Klimper comes up, and no gain as he smothers it. Great job by the senior, Mickey Klimper.
Yeah, great job there. He eyeballed that quarterback the whole way. Quarterback never looked off his receiver, forced to throw it underneath. And now we have a 3rd and a long 6 for Rawlins.
Quarterback for the Rawlins, just a sophomore, Quentin Romero, 5'7", 145 pounds. Doing a great job so far back there. Very accurate.
Here we go. Let's see what Rawlins has in their bag of tricks here.
Staying in the doubles formation. Has time in the pocket, lets it float outside and just out of reach. And that's going to bring up a punt situation for the Outlaws. Good stand for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, now, you know, you think Bulldogs did a good job. They held them. But Rawlins is going to look at that as a successful drive. They were all the way back against their own end zone. They shifted this field position again. So let's get a good return. And we're going to put Scranton and Klimper back there. One of our biggest weapons last year was these two young men on the return game. So let's see if they can get it on the run and maybe take it to the house.
So first, 3 minutes left. First time that the Outlaws have had to punt.
We have a
And
stop. Here
so
we go.
Bulldog returnman back 45 yards. Now they walk up to 40. And really nice high punt, short but high. And the Bulldogs will let it bounce wisely.
Very smart play there. Klimper came up as if he was going to make that catch, but that is so hard right there. Let it hit.
Yeah,
And
if you're going to catch that, Shane, you fair catch it, and then you avoid the bounce. But otherwise, yeah, you get away because that's not going to be returnable as short as it was and high as it was.
Yep, that punt was like the old wedge. It hits, and who knows which direction it's going to bounce, but Rawlins chooses to catch it on the hop. And now here we go again. Let's see if our offense can get some positive yardage and get out of this offense they're running and go into this spread, this new age style of offense that they've worked on and that we've seen.
Haven't seen the spread yet, Shane. Staying in the double wing. Inside, and a good play for the Bulldogs. First positive yards in a while. Right now in 3 series, the Bulldogs, I think, are even right now.
Yep, finally
in yards gained.
Even point now, yardage-wise. And hey, you know what? I'm going to go right behind that same young man. Great push by our center and our right guard.
Yeah, and they do. They come right back to it. Good idea. And running hard is Atkin, and he's able to get a few more. Now, I like that, and you just keep pounding it when you're being successful with it. Good job. Brings up a manageable 3rd down and 2.
Good job by our offensive line there with the push. You only need 2. Why not do it again?
Right behind Beckett and Hume. Those 2 seniors doing a heck of a job over there on this series. They'll come back for it a 3rd time, and I'll tell you what, Atkin running hard, but you can't do it when there's 3 or 4 white jerseys in the backfield.
Sure, second effort, but I'm not. That's okay. I'm okay that they ran that same play the 3rd time because now Rollins is going to say, hey, I think they might run it there again. I think they might run it there again. When you fake that handoff there, it will open up other things. So
definite, you're on your own 37-yard line, definite punt situation.
Yep.
Punt it out of there. Let your defense get a hold again. 1:46 left here in the first quarter. 6-0 lead for the Outlaws. Bulldogs line up to punt in a trips punt formation.
So far, our punter has been the busiest man on offense.
High punt over the head is the snap. Hickson picks it up and does what he can with it. And the ball's on the ground. And momentum shift to the Outlaws.
There you go, Kib. Are they going to try to put their foot on our throat right now and go right up over the top to the end zone? Bulldogs just had that. It was a snap over the head, and we had issues with snaps last week, and here we go. They're going to go for it.
They're going to put it up. They're going for it all right off the bat, trying to get the mismatch. And they're going to call flag, and this time I think it's going to be offensive pass interference.
Absolutely. It looked like old Michael Irvin back there in the day when he would grab his guy, throw him out of the way, and catch it. But hey, give him credit for that. He's making himself open and make the referee call it.
Absolutely, and great coverage by Jared Atkin back there. He was all over it. And the only way Rawlins was going to get open was exactly what they did. Throw him out of the way. Refs make a good call, and it's coming back.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that very clearly. But again, like we said, hey, put the hiatus on the referee to make that call. It was a very athletic play, but it's going to come back, and now that ends up being a big play because Jared Atkins was in perfect position to make that defensive play until he gets thrown out of the way. But that shows the size difference, too, there. That's a big receiver for Rawlins. Big penalty.
So Rawlins tries to go for it all on the 1st down, and it bites him, and it scoots him back all the way to the 40. Repeat 1st down.
It looked like they were moving before the
right
snap.
Up the middle, and it's going to be a big gain as he's able to get the sideline. He gets all of the yards back they lost, plus some, and just like that, Rawlins recovers from the penalty.
Nightmarish first quarter so far for our Bulldogs. I hate to say that, but we're just stating the obvious right now. A minute 12 remaining in this first quarter. We're trying to survive and not be down 2 scores before this first quarter mercifully ends.
Out to the 24.
Pistol formation, trips to the wide side. Back to throw. Has a man wide open. Same thing we saw earlier with the trips formation. This time out of trips formation, middle guy, huge cushion by the Bulldogs. And that's not a play called when they went out of the huddle. They're no huddle. They go up there, they sit. Their coaches look at it. They say, hey, this is what's open. They send it in and executed perfectly.
It's a first down.
Boy, that was a quick 20-some, 25 yards for Rawlins on 2 plays.
Yeah, had him in a hole, and Rawlins jumps out of it. Timeout, Moffat County, just under a minute left. 6-0 lead for trips. To the left side for the Outlaws. They got a first down and 10 just outside the 14-yard line. They'll bring it right back up the middle again. And a host of Bulldogs in there. I see Teeter, I see Klimper, I see Beckett all in there on the tackle. And a short gain, maybe 2, maybe 3 for the Outlaws.
And those 3 young men so far, they're holding this ship together, so to speak, right now. With 22 seconds left in this first quarter, might be our last play of this first quarter unless it's an incomplete pass.
They'll bring it right back up the middle again.
25 again.
Nice job. That's Teeter coming in from the near side, makes a nice tackle. And that's going to end the first quarter here at Moffat County High School.
We'll be right back here on
I want to say
MOFFATCOUNTYPROUD.COM.
thanks to all our sponsors for bringing you tonight's game. Severson Supply and Rental, the Memorial Hospital, Bank of Colorado, Victory Motors, Hatton Enterprises, Miller Family Appliance, 3B Enterprises, Cornerstone Realty, GCR Tires and Service, Precision Auto Service, 360 Insurance Company, Mountain West Insurance, Kramer Flooring, McDonald's, Duran and Pierce Contractors, Cook Chevrolet, Ford and Subaru, Country Living Realty, Draper Insurance Group, Great Divide Cleaning Service, Chaos Inc., Young Life, Rocky Mountain Machinery, your Kubota dealer, Epp and Associates, Rocky Mountain Automotive, Colorado Northwestern Community College, Identity Graphics, Craig Veterinary Hospital, Craig Family Dental, Brass Key Realty, and Mountain Air Spray. We'll be right back with the second quarter right here on MOFFATCOUNTYPROUD.COM.
So here we are back on MOFFATCOUNTYPROUD.COM, and hey, Coach, inside information now. Rollins has number 8 in, who had to sit the first quarter. Damon Taylor, he is their horse. He is their stud in the backfield.
Yeah,
watch him.
Second string running back had the ball earlier. Damon Taylor gets the ball, tries to pop it outside, and hey, that's what we want to see. Colby Beckett getting in there, and it's a loss, one of the few for the Outlaws. Not what they wanted to see happen there.
Yeah, good
Great
job.
defense.
So we greeted their stud back, Damon Taylor, who comes in, and it's that read offense. So there's no guarantee as you make that play call it's going to be handed off there, but the quarterback read the play, handed up the middle. See what they have in store here on 4th down.
Back to pass. They're going for it all. Corner of the end zone. And touchdown for the Outlaws.
He beats number 80 for the Bulldogs, and what a catch, what a throw, what a play. Spencer Brown is defeated in the corner of the end zone. I'll tell you what, that number 5 is a star.
So don't be surprised if Rawlins is going to go for 2 here as they miss that other extra point. So just under half a minute into this second quarter, and Rawlins is tacked on another touchdown. And they do. They're going to line up, go for 2, doubles formation, pistol in the backfield. They'll give it to number 8, and untouched, just walks into the end zone.
Thus
And
the beauty of the spread offense.
yeah, and we've already seen a heavy dose of that right now. And Bulldog offense has got to get it going right now. Right now, Rawlins got to be 100, 150 yards offense. Bulldogs under 10. Thanks, Shane, is right now our kick returns have been huge for us. This one's going to Klimper.
He's got
Another
a seam.
good return. He's got a seam. So right now, the one high, he's just pushing ahead, nose down. Another huge return for the Bulldogs. It's been Scranton, it's been Atkin, it's been Klimper on 3 kick returns, and every one of them near or surpass midfield. So the one highlight for the Bulldogs right now is our kick returns.
Absolutely, and right there, you wonder at what point will Rollins maybe say, hey, we're not going to kick to those guys. We're just going to shake it.
We're going to squib it.
Yep.
We're going to onside it. We're giving them the ball near midfield anyways.
So at this point, obviously, it is the drive of the game. You've fallen down 14-0 now. There's 11:16 left in the second quarter.
And Bulldogs switch formations for the first time. They go from shotgun wing to double wing.
and up under center.
This is what you saw him run last year. And loss of a yard, maybe back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, just no push right now. And at some point, you're going to have to spread them out and challenge the outside. Play being called in from the sideline, but once our play is called, there's no being changed once it's out there. So at this point, that play has been called. So no matter what the defensive formation, that play is going to be run.
Maybe a yard on the play. Back to Atkin.
You're starting to feel a little bit of a murmur in the crowd here. They realize that this right now is extremely important. And now you've got a 3rd and long.
And Rawlins ain't changing a thing. They're saying we're keeping 11 guys usually within 8 yards of the ball.
I mean, if you block out the Bulldog offense here and you see this defense, you think, wow, what are they doing?
Shuttle pass or shuffle pass, either way you want to call it. It's back to the line of scrimmage and no gain for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, what I call is no gain in a punting situation again, my friend.
And you see play after play, Rawlins sending 1 or 2 linebackers every single play, just wreaking havoc in the Bulldog backfield.
So the Bulldogs will be punting again. As we said, our busiest offensive player, I guess you call him, is number 3, Gregory Hickson. He's done a great job punting the ball. He does that little hop here, and he gets it out of there. Good punt, or good snap that time, and a good punt.
And good job right there. Bulldogs will down it at the Rawlins 25. 9:22 on the clock. You're watching Bulldog football right here on MOFFATCOUNTYPROUD.COM. Rawlins in the trips look. Pistol, give to number 8. In quick was Teeters. He came flying in, untouched. Great job, Teeter. And it's a loss of a yard.
Teeter's the player of the game so far, Mr. Hafey. He has been all over the place, and he hits with authority out there, that military pride between him and Hickson. Hoorah!
Heck yeah, Josh Teeter with a big stick.
See now, if we challenge the middle here, you know they're going to throw a pass here.
Quick pass to the outside, incomplete.
Good job.
Good coverage by the Bulldogs.
And you had Gregory Hickson out there. We just mentioned his name. He came up and he forced the issue there. You saw him fly into your picture. He was being blocked very quickly, or he's going to drop right in front of that. Sorry, 3rd and long. And 8:45 remaining until halftime. 14-0, your Bulldogs are down.
Long 3rd down for the Outlaws. Big play right here for the Bulldogs. A stop here could get them the ball back near midfield. Back to pass. Lets it fly. Oh, and steps up is Scranton. It was almost a pick 6. Great coverage. He was half a step away from taking it all the way in for 6. Great coverage. Good stop by the Bulldogs. And the Outlaws are going to have to punt.
Scranton read that beautifully. So it's twice now we've had players literally just an inch away. Earlier it was Klemper, and now Scranton. They read the quarterback's eyes. They stepped in front of the route and almost make that pick, which they're going to take to the house. Here so far, our best offense, as we've said several times, is our return game, and we have Scranton and Klemper back there, and they're a lot closer this time than they were before.
Punt is off. Nice
Returnable.
punt. Scranton will take it, brings it in, up the middle, head over heels, and it's about a 6-yard return, but that puts the Bulldogs in a good position near midfield. And they run it to the near side and sprint to the near side, and it's wise decision by Beaver as he gets rid of it. Good play by him, because that was going to be a huge loss, but he gets rid of it, wisely throws it out of bounds. Coach, why do you run trips to the near side and it takes away all your room? Usually you want to run that and spread it out.
Yes, sir, and we've talked about that, and I want to jump right into the fact there was your welcome to high school football hit, as our quarterback had 3 big players bear down on him, and as he is just luckily able to chuck it over to the sideline, he takes a thunderous hit down low and 2 up top. And I think right now he's very aware now. He's in some high school varsity Friday night football.
Bulldogs have a split pro formation. They go with the reverse and loss of 2.
And again, we've had so much seepage here. That's a slow developing play, and if you're not able to take that outside, it's just like a real long handoff that takes a while longer when you cut it behind the guard. So not a lot of blocking happening right now for the Bulldogs, and they've got a 3rd and really long again. Offensively tonight, just not working out for our Bulldogs.
Under 8 minutes left here in the first half. 14-0 lead for the Outlaws. Back to throws Beaver. Ball's tipped up, bounces around, and pulled down by an Outlaw. And looked like Hot Potato out there. And Hot Potato goes to the Outlaws. And another turnover, and momentum shifts to the Outlaws.
Yes.
Pistol doubles for the Outlaws. Quick hitch route. Nice block outside by the Outlaws. Holy cow.
Yeah, you had number 7 out there on Jared Atkins, and I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to look up number 7 right now. That was Lorenzo Ebel, and wow, did he do a great job, and you heard a collision out there?
Yeah, just hitch route, slip screen, call it what you want, first down, and the Outlaws doing a great job spreading the field.
There you go, another pass outside. And have to say, that pass took a while to get there.
It did.
But our cornerbacks are so far off the receiver that by the time we get there, he's already gained 5 or 6 yards.
And we've said it before, Shane, you see that. That play's coming in from their sideline. Their coaches wait, they see how we line up, and then they make their call based on the Bulldog alignment.
Now look, like you said earlier, Kip, look, you've got the wide side of the field. Here's your trips. On the strong side, the wide side, look at all the green grass, all the room. And if you're saying, who am I going to look at here? Now we move up, but you've still got a guy 6 yards off. And there it goes to him with the block.
So, and you called it, Shane. There was the ticket right there. That play doesn't work. It comes in from the sideline because they saw our DB 13 yards back, but then he snuck up. He switched it up. Good idea. Great job out there. That was number 1, Connor Murphy. Good job mixing it up out there, making it hard for him to read.
Yeah, great job. And that's probably the best defensive play so far, just as far as the mental aspect of the game. 3rd and long now.
Right up the middle.
Number 3 had him for maybe a loss, and now it's going to be 4th and short.
Yeah, and if you're the, don't be surprised if they go for it here. You always got to watch the hard count here as well.
Red light.
And our awesome cameraman, Mr. Scranton, saying red light, red light.
And if you know what red light means, that means you better watch the hard count. Right up the middle. And wrapped up. Oh, it's going to be close. I think the Bulldogs got a hold there. Great defensive stand.
Klimper came in there.
And he, you know what? He did textbook grab. He grabbed and he did not let go of that jersey. And the Bulldogs get it back. Good defensive stand by our boys in blue.
Snap your fingers. Here we go. Bulldogs trying to get off of this 1 yard of total offense so far with 2 interceptions.
Back to passes, Beaver. Has some time, going deep, has a man open, and just overshoots him. So close. Good job by the offensive line for the Bulldogs, giving him time to throw.
And that was Alex Navarro with the route down there. He was open if you can drop it in, and that was probably our best opportunity in a passing play. Good blocking. He had time to step up and throw, just couldn't quite drop it in. And you're at the point now, you've got to hit something positive as you head close to halftime. And have we even gotten a first down in this game? I don't think we have.
Yeah, I think you're right, Shane. I don't know if we have a first down. I don't believe we do.
And so your defense can only do so much. So 2nd down and 10, good field position as all night we've had.
Right up the middle is Atkin. Puts his head down and runs hard for about 1, just not a lot there.
Yeah, I mean, and you can say yards after contact, But when you're contacted 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage, that means you're going to gain a yard or none. So we've just got to do a better job with the seepage. Something right now to fake out these linebackers, because they're sending the house up the middle and daring us to go outside. Third down, and we'll call it 8.
Back to Beaver. Whips that ball out of there. Beautiful pass out there to Scranton. And the Bulldogs get their first down of the game.
Good. I gave them the luck there. They get that first down, and that was a nice pass. I believe the first completion for big yards like that to a Bulldog, and that should give some confidence now to our quarterback. And as you said, man, did he spin it. I believe those young men have been hitting patterns from quarterback to receiver since they were just wee lads back in middle school. I remember seeing them hit patterns and throw to each other. So a lifetime friendship there.
Bulldogs back to the pro look. Beaver rolls left.
Oh, wow.
Shuttle pass inside. Navarez makes a nice move, makes the first guy miss, gain of about 6.
Woo, and I'll tell you what, the nice thing about MOFFATCOUNTYPROUD.COM, you can stop it for a minute, rewind, watch the defender for Rawlins there. If he has a little bit better of an idea, he's going to take that pitch and go the other direction. He was right in the middle of that play, but he went for the quarterback, and the quarterback did a good job getting it out at the last second, and a positive gain as we have a timeout here. We'll be right back on MOFFATCOUNTYPROUD.COM.
Second down and short for the Bulldogs.
Whole lot of grass over here to the right side of the field.
Reverse, and it's smothered in the backfield for a loss of a couple.
And I think sometimes maybe East and West gets lost in the shuffle there, but when you want to reverse, you generally don't want to go to the short side of the field where you have about 4 yards to the sideline.
That was number 87, Dario Alexander, sophomore for the Bulldogs. Back to pass is Beaver. Just shoots it just off the fingertips of Scranton, going to bring up a 4th down. So after having a 2nd down and 2 or 3, Bulldogs are now in a 4th and long 4 situation.
And Scranton did a great job running that route out of this bunched up offense to get separation and get open, going again to the short side of the field. Remember, folks at home, you've got your strong side and your weak side. The weak side right now, look at how short the distance is. That's not a lot of room to work with on the left side of the field. And here we go, 4th down, huge play.
And timeout, Rawlins.
Very
we'll be
smart
right
timeout.
back, right here on MOFFATCOUNTYPROUD.COM.
Well, play of the game at this point, 3:51 remaining till halftime. 4th down and 5. Take it away, my friend.
Atkin goes in motion, comes back, fakes the handoff. Beaver lets it fly to the corner. Oh, almost pulled in. He put it on the money. Couldn't ask for a better throw from Beaver as he laid it in there, and Navarro's just not able to hold on to it.
I'll tell you what, you're at a high school level, so you can be critical. That is a play you have to make, a catch you have to have. You've run the route to perfection. You're wide open. The ball's put on your hands. Make the play. It's a huge play in this game. Now you've given the ball over to Rawlins with 3:44 left, and they've got the ball at their own 44.
Rawlins sitting in the trips to the Bulldog sideline. They'll try to sweep it outside. Blitz by Hickson, and he wreaks some havoc in there. And the damage is done. 5-yard loss. Call it 3. And a good first down play by the Bulldog defense.
Great job by Connor Murphy and by Jared Atkins. And you know what? Gregory Hickson was in there first to make that play happen. Force Rawlins to run outside. Now they're going to look at the clock. Going to take their time here. A punt is great for Rawlins. The Bulldogs would like to get one more opportunity on offense. Here we go. 2nd and long.
Back to pass. Lots of time. No pressure. Wide open down the middle. And right off his chest. And the Bulldogs dodge a bullet there because Rawlins had a guy wide open.
Yes, and that is a play also. We just talked about it. You got to make those plays for your quarterback. He put that on the money. Connor Murphy was beat, went up to try to knock it down with one arm. Maybe he touched it a little bit, but that's just
not sure if it was Connor Murphy or Alex Navarez who was in. I mean, both of them were on that side, and so not sure what coverage they were in there, but either way, you never want the receiver to be deeper than your deepest man, and Rawlins was.
Yeah, so no safety over the top, definitely.
Nice rush by Davis. Well, why?
Screen.
Because it's a screen, and it's a good call by the Outlaws as they get about a 10-yard gain and bring up a manageable third down.
The Bulldogs are signaling that there's a fumble there, but there was no signal. The whistle was blown.
Bulldogs came up with the ball. We got flags in the air.
And they're going to
Let's
call
see what
that
it
on
is.
us. I hope I am wrong, but it looks like they're going to say when we came up and ripped that ball out of there. Hopefully I'm totally wrong on this. So let's see what happens.
There was a lot of pushing.
Oh,
and shoving
good, it's
in
on
there.
Rawlins.
Yeah. I saw a white jersey come in there late with a little pushing, and that's what gets called. And that's a good job by the Bulldogs keeping your composure. And the Outlaws shoot themselves in the foot because they were going to have a 4th down and 4 from the 50, and now they're going to have a 3rd down. And if it's actually could be dead ball foul, might be loss of downing.
Yeah, it was. At that point, the play was dead. It looked like it was a dead ball foul. And those of you who know me well will know I'll never say this, but man, I'm so glad I was wrong. Weird. So it was definitely after the play, but they're going to go ahead and run 3rd down over here. 3rd and very long.
And looking at the clock right now, Shane, too, but nobody notices it from the Outlaws.
And you have a flag here and a long completion, and this is the worst case scenario.
So you got a 1st down for the Outlaws. If it stands where that flag was at, you're usually going to see a holding call, and that'll be bonus Bulldogs. And it is holding, and it's all for naught. And it comes back.
So at this point, right before half for Rawlins, their offense deteriorates drastically, and you think they just want to get to a punt at this point. 2:19 remaining, and 14-0. Rawlins up in this ball game, and you know what they say: you'd rather be lucky than good sometimes, and you create your own luck. Bulldogs created a holding penalty right there, which was huge because that was a big pass. And now you're going to have another pass, and it's time to get that pressure back into the backfield of Rawlins.
We'll be right back with this 4th down play.
What in the...
So we're back, and they're trying to figure out where the spot of the ball is. So holding is from the spot of the hold, 10 yards from the spot of the hold. And so that's going to put the ball for the Outlaws at around the 13-yard line. So 13, and like we've said before, Shane, they're headed south, so 13 and meeker for the 1st down.
I was getting ready to ask you, which small, awesome rural community is that direction? So let's hope they're not saying hello to a cowboy at the end of this play. 2:10, and they're going to let that clock run here.
Just under 2 minutes. Smart by the Outlaws as they let the clock run.
And the clock stopped at 2 minutes for a few seconds. They're not sure what that was. Not playing professional football here.
So 1:57 on the clock, timeout Outlaws.
There we go. Minute 57 left on that clock. We'll just say it was a high school 2-minute warning, my friend.
All right, so the Outlaws trying to dig out of a hole. Quick pass. Smart call by the Outlaws as they keep the clock running, trying to keep the Bulldogs out of the end zone. Quick timeout by the Bulldogs, and they'll take over right after the punting situation coming up for the out on the clock. Bulldogs getting it back. I'm telling you right now, if I'm the Bulldogs, I am sending the house. You got nothing to lose. You're down 14-0. You got them pinned. Go for it right now. Go for the block. Quick momentum change. Try to get yourself on the scoreboard.
Absolutely, and pressure is everything. So far, the pressure has been against us tonight. We're doing it. We've only got one man back, but and we do get up there and force
Get up there, slow punt. Yeah, low punt. Never got more than a few feet off the ground, but somehow squirts through the line. But it's still going to give great field position to our Bulldogs.
Man, oh man, sometimes luck just can't go your way. We're in there. That ball comes off. It literally almost hit one of his offensive linemen, and it rolls shankily forward to where it really is about as good as they could have hoped for. Well, look at this. We are now 47 yards away from pay dirt, and somehow possibly still being in this game at halftime. Comes our quarterback now bringing in the play. I can always find him because his helmet is a different color than the rest of the team, Kip, so that makes it easy for me.
Yeah, 3 or 4 helmets, different colors down there. Not sure what's going on. Beaver back to throw. Looks for the shuttle pass. Nothing there. Able to get it off to Klemper. Looked like reminiscent of Brett Favre.
Yes, sir.
Shuffle pass, get rid of it. Heads up, though. Good job by the junior. And he makes something out of nothing. And gain of 5 for the Bulldogs.
They got to go here. A little bit of a panic there because good job with the quarterback, though. He didn't force that. They ate that play up. So then he lobs it over the top like a jump shot. And it's something positive.
Looking at the receivers down here, Dominic Pescetti lining up as a wide out. And he's open in the flat, right off his fingertips.
You know what, though? We talked about it. We wanted to see that, and this is what we want. They had their power this side, and they went to where the 3 wide receivers were. They rolled their quarterback body appropriately, so he at least was able to get power off his back foot.
So what I was thinking early, Shane, was you're going to see Dominic pound that ball up the middle at fullback, and the first time he touches the ball, he's lined up at a slot receiver.
Yeah, I mean, and now we go back to our bunched-up offense. And again,
picked
same
off
play,
by the Outlaws.
right over the middle. I mean, you can read it like a book.
Yeah, one too many times to the well. You keep trying to go right inside, and you got linebackers stacked there and 2 safeties sitting at 10. That's a tough throw for the junior.
And I mean, that well, why go back? That well already had 2 interceptions in it. Now a third when you call the play where you're passing right over the middle where all their linebackers, corners, safety, and entire secondary is at. There's no time for them to run their routes and get out in green grass and open area. So now all that hope's out the window, and now we're on the other side with 1:06 left. Rawlins has a chance now with great field position.
But the flag is defensive holding, but after the interception, and so Rawlins will get the ball with just over a minute on the clock.
And I guarantee you, because you know how good coaches are, they're going to go in at halftime and say, we're not going to run that play again. We're not going to throw that pass over the middle out of that bunched-up offense.
And they'll run it right up the middle. And the Bulldogs are there to make a quick stop. Pescetti and Beckett and Teeter in on the tackle. Loss of 1 for the Outlaws.
You know, thank goodness for our defense tonight and our veterans, our seniors and our juniors. They have kept us still clinging to this game.
Deep as the deepest man. Stay deep. Oh my goodness. Once again, they get behind the defense. I mean, now's when you're talking, Shane, we talked earlier, now's when you're not just 13 yards back, you drop in that prevent, you drop a guy back, you drop a free safety back at 20, and no one gets deeper than you.
Yeah, this is where you give the old signal, prevent defense. This ain't the NFL. You're not preventing yourself from winning. You're preventing the guy from going over the top. They're not going to kick a long field goal. Nobody behind you, nobody deeper than your deepest man. And they kind of wave the white flag on this first half here with the draw to run this clock down. You understand what they're doing there.
Yeah, and if the Bulldogs, I'm not sure if the Bulldogs have another timeout or not, but if you do have a timeout, you call it right now. Go for the block again. Make something happen here.
So this first half, and folks, it's the first game of the year. It's 0 week, so we're not being overly critical here, but it's going to mercifully come to an end with your Bulldogs down 14-0. Not a lot of offense. Welcome back to MOFFATCOUNTYPROUD.COM. We would like to thank all of our awesome sponsors who make it possible for us to be here and bring you all the action of Bulldog fall sports. So here we go. Thank you to Severson Supply and Rental, the Memorial Hospital, Bank of Colorado, there's only one, Victory Motors, Haddon Enterprises, Miller Family Appliance Sales and Service, 3B Enterprises, Cornerstone Realty, GCR Tires and Service, Precision Auto Service Incorporated, 360 Insurance Company, Justin Kowchek Agency, Mountain West Insurance, Kramer Flooring, McDonald's, I'm loving it, Duran and Pierce Contractors, Cook Chevrolet, Ford and Subaru, Country Living Realty, Draper Insurance Group, Great Divide Cleaning Service, Chaos Inc., Young Life, Rocky Mountain Machinery, Ep Associates, Rocky Mountain Automotive Incorporated, Colorado Northwestern Community College. Identity Graphics, Craig Veterinary Hospital, Craig Family Dental, Breast Key Realty, and Mountain Air Spray Company. We'll be right back here on MOFFATCOUNTYPROUD.COM as you watch our awesome cheerleaders on the field.
County set to kick off, got the ball set on the right hash, and Mickey Klimper with the honors. Back deep for the Outlaws is Damon Taylor, Jr., 180 pounds, their tailback, and also looks like Kai Souls. Kick's going to be short, sits on the ground, picked up, and good coverage by the Bulldogs downfield. Rawlins will take it near the 25.
You know what? I like that kick. That works for what you're trying to do there. You make them have some sort of a return. You have it die around the 10-yard line. Good job. We hadn't heard that Klimper was going to be kicking. We brought in a player from the soccer team. We had a couple of our other players, and sometimes you just have tryouts. And at the end of the day, I guess Mr. Do-It-All, Klimper, steps up and says, hey, I'll kick.
Rawlins comes right back in the trips look, pistol formation.
And look at this. Defensively, you just cannot bunch anything up because everyone is spread so far out. So here you go. You've got number 4 with his cornerback 10 yards off of him. And there's that bounce to the outside again. When we were talking to one of the coaches from Rawlins.
Yeah, two really different styles there. You said it, bounce. That's Damon Taylor. He's kind of the bounce running back. We've seen him. He gets there. He's got some wheels, and he'll try to bounce it. And then their other young man, Brad Williams, was the other kid, and he's more of a downhill runner.
At the end of the day, you know, as far as a coaching aspect, you're going to tell your players, man, you've got to hit the hole we call. You've got to run inside the tackles. That's easier said than done. And sometimes when a young man is blessed with speed, that can sometimes be a curse because they want to bounce everything out and go long instead of just gaining 3 or 4 yards.
Back to pass. Goes over the middle, broken up by Scranton. He puts a big stick on number 20, and he'll think twice before cutting across the middle again. Good defense by the Bulldogs, brings up a long 3rd down.
Great job there because you have to make that decision as a defender. Okay, am I going to decleat this guy or am I going for the interception? Scranton already has had a couple opportunities to try for the interception, which he almost had. This time he says, I'm going to decleat this guy. 3rd down and long.
So far, Shane, really balanced. I mean, they will run, they will throw. They're about 50-50. Back to pass, has lots of time.
Klimper was back there.
Out of the pocket. Good defense once again by the Bulldogs. And a great first series for that defense. And the Bulldogs are going to get the ball back.
Yeah, great job with pressure up the middle. He had 88 and 56. And I have 56 here on my sheet as Jared Baker. Is that correct?
I believe so. Jared Baker. 210-pound junior. That kid spent a lot of time in the weight room. I see him in there all the time. Great young man, and has really, really improved since his freshman year because of his work ethic.
Great job. Then you had Baker and Klimper. Sounds like a powerful law firm. They come back in the backfield and force that quarterback to run outside, and now we're going to have a very early, quick timeout for Rawlins.
Back to punt, low snap. It's Moffat able to pick it up and get rid of it. Not going to be a very good punt. Going to take a Rawlins roll, though, and they get lucky getting that good of a punt out of what happened there because they almost lost it as it rolled around on the ground. But a smart decision by Rawlins as he quickly lets it fly. Bulldogs will take over near the 45-yard line. Just underway here in the second half.
I mean, can they honestly get any luckier so far? At some point, Lady Luck has to shift, right?
Well, the Bulldogs came out, did what they needed to do on defense. Now they got the ball near midfield. Make something happen. You got the momentum. Let's get it rolling, guys. Back to throw is Beaver. Screen, wide
there.
open to the side. Tries to get around the edge. He gets the corner and maybe gets a couple. A potential huge play. We don't come up with as much as we would have liked out of it, but still a positive play for the Bulldogs.
And let me tell you what, when he initially catches that, you and I both felt that looked like it was going to go a long ways, but the inside of the field, number 9 and number 7 for Rawlins did a fantastic job. That's Brad Williams and Lorenzo Ebel, who's already been in on a bunch of plays. That play looked like it was going to go at least for 15 yards. It ends up being 4, but it was a good play design. Look, here we go, a little bit of different offense here.
2 plays in a row, we spread it out, and 2 plays in a row are positive. Amazing what happens when you spread out that defense.
And right now, Rawlins has not seen this yet. So now they're unsure what they're doing defensively because they had their, how do they say, their ears taped back that whole second quarter knowing what we were running. So right now, there's a little bit of unsurety on their side. They're not totally
downs,
sure.
And you got it, Shane. 2 downs right now to get 2 yards. Same formation. Pro look for the Bulldogs. Shotgun. Right up the middle to Atkin. Nice push by the O-line, and it's going to be a first down.
And thank goodness, I don't care when it happened or what it took for it to happen, but we come out in this different offense, which we were talking about all night, and these kids already a million miles of difference. Now Moffat County looks completely like they have all the juice going their way, and Rawlins is back on their heels because they're seeing something, as I said a moment ago, entirely different, so they can't just fire out.
So 2 times right behind Logan Kinez and Baker. Big pass going deep. And you're hoping for some yellow there. He pushes him all the way down. We wanted to see some yellow, didn't get it there. And it's not like the NFL, Shane. There's no such rule as not catchable. If it's pass interference, it's pass interference.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, as a cornerback at a high school level, we've talked about this several times over the years. If you're beat, you just want to drag that guy down because it's not nearly the huge penalty that you get in the pros. It's from the line. It's not where you're at when you would have caught it. So 10-12, very early in the second half, and the Bulldogs seem to have a little bit of something going here.
2nd and 10, staying in the pro look. Beaver takes the snap. Step backs to throw, rolls to his left. Shovel pass inside.
Oh, he's got
Klimper
a
changes
chance.
direction. He breaks it. He's got some green grass. He's got 1 man to beat. He's around the corner, inside the 20, and the Bulldogs have another first down, and they're finally inside the red zone.
And did you see, it looked like it was a little bit discombobulated there, but we get that shovel pass forward. Klimper grabs it, reverses field, and a la Marshawn Lynch against the New Orleans Saints makes thunder happen and says, "Get out of my way!" And he goes 20 yards, the biggest play by far of the night for these Bulldogs. Let's see if they can capitalize.
Entire series, they're spreading it out. They're in pro. They've got 2 wide receivers, and right now it's working. They'll stay in the same formation. Atkin up the middle. Makes a great cut. Makes a couple guys miss. Going for the corner of the end zone. He dives. He's in. Touchdown, Bulldogs.
Wow, what a great run. He goes to the outside. He dives inside the cone. And what a world of difference. You can feel it in the air right now. The energy and momentum has shifted completely, and it's a whole new ball game. But now this 1 point is huge.
And that's exactly what the Bulldogs needed to do. They broke away from keeping all the guys in the box. They said, hey, we're going to spread you out. We're going to put 2 wide receivers, and positive play, positive play, positive play. Great execution by the Moffat County Bulldogs.
Oh, no.
Snaps on the ground, and a corral of Outlaws comes up, and it's going to be 14-6. No good with the extra point. 9:49 on the clock. Bulldogs will be coming back with the kickoff right here on MOFFATCOUNTYPROUD.COM.
My friend, Mr. Hafey. Whew, now you see what we were talking about. You spread out that offense, great things will happen.
Yeah, and you saw it. And Bulldogs on the move. Taken by the Outlaws. And decent return out just past the 30.
Now let's see what happens here. It's up to Rawlins. They're thinking to themselves, obviously, that they've got to answer that first score of this second half. The Bulldogs defensively come out with the mindset, hey, we're going to hold them 3 and out and get our offense back on the field. And it absolutely feels like a different game right now than it did when we were coming out of the second half. And it is. It's a 1-score game. Man, you just wish you'd have had that extra point or 2-point conversion. But still, you're 8 points away from tying this one up.
Rawlins staying in the trips look. And muffed snap, but picked up by the Outlaws, and it's a big play. And I'll tell you what, oh, ball's on the ground. Bulldogs might have it.
That was Scranton reaching in there. He pulled the ball
Let's
behind.
see what they're saying. And not sure who jumped on it. Looks like the Bulldogs are saying, we got it.
Play.
Waiting for the call from the ref. And they say Bulldog ball. That's what we needed, because that was a big play for the Outlaws, as number 9 had a heck of a run. But holding that ball in one hand, when you're getting hit, you better wrap it up.
You talk about momentum shift right here, my friend. Wow, he was ahead. Scranton comes from behind, and by the time he got done grabbing that ball, the running back had it behind his back, and he knew he was in trouble. Ball on the ground, and I see right here, Klimper was tapping his head. That's something he'll never do, saying he needs to come out, so I sure hope he's okay, because this is the time we need him in the game. And yeah, he's going to come out here and see what's going on here.
And timeout, Bulldogs.
That's
We'll be
okay.
right back.
Bulldogs with trip receivers to the weak side. They roll right. He's in trouble. Ball's on the ground, and they might house it. They're going to say it was out of bounds.
And is it out of bounds? It's Bulldog ball because it went out of bounds. I want to say we dodge a bullet, the lesser of two evils. Huge sack by the Outlaws. And that's going to bring up a 2nd down and 26 for the Bulldogs. Twice we've seen that, Shane. Trips to the tight side, and then we sprint to the tight side. You're squeezing everything down. You got less room to work. And that time, Rawlins knew it. They knew he was sprinting to the trip side, and there was 2 or 3 Outlaws there to greet Beaver, and he had no room.
When you heard my man, our cameraman, Lance Scranton, too, saying trips to that small, short side, and hey, in Mad Football, I can press R1 kip and change the play on the field. You can't do that here.
Now they go trips to the wide side. Sprint to the trip side, blitz again, and Beaver takes a lick. And Atkin doing everything he can. And Shane, we talked about this in the scrimmage, and now you see it here. Trips, sprint to the trip side, trip, sprint to the trip side, trip, sprint to the trip side. And Rawlins saw that. They make the right call. They blitz from the sprint side, and your quarterback's hung out to dry, and Beaver took a shot.
Well, and you know, absolutely all day long, Rawlins has good coaches. We talked about tendency. When your tendency is 100%, well, shoot, of course you're going to say, well, we're going to sprint from that side, we're going to blitz from that side, until you show me that that's not 100% tendency. You don't mind 80 or 70, that's great, but when it's 100%, it's like they know what you're going to do. And right now, it's up to our Bulldogs and their coaches to come out. Now, this is 3rd and, as we joked earlier, meeker. So you just want something positive here, and hopefully you can gain good yardage, but if not, you punt and get out of here and play defense.
Hey, doubles formation for the Bulldogs. Haven't seen that yet. Motion. Give right up the middle to Atkin. Wrapped up immediately.
The timing
Loss of 1, and
really
the Bulldogs
off.
are going to have to punt from their own 30.
Not sure what happened there, but you could see the timing was way off. You want that to be really smooth, obviously, with that first handoff, and then you fake that end around, and you have linebackers unsure of what's going to happen. Nonetheless, 4th and very long, but we still can maintain control of this field position. Let's have a good punt here and get down and have good coverage on their stud running back here looking to house this ball.
Hickson back to punt. He'll take it. Good pressure by the Outlaws. Hickson able to get it off. And going to take a Bulldog roll. And the Outlaws will take over just inside the 40 right here on MOFFATCOUNTYPROUD.COM.
Here we go. We are in a ball game, folks. 14-6, 8:15 left in the 3rd quarter. Rawlins, as you can see over there, it's pretty cool. They have their signs up just like the Oregon Ducks do. One of those probably has the play call on it, but then again, it may not. It's just all in deception.
Right up the middle, and it is Beckett right in there along with Teeter and Baker on the stop. I think Pischetti was in there as well. So, loss of a yard for the Outlaws.
You know, we talked right at halftime. It seems as though right now our line has started to do better. Is Rawlins tiring?
Yeah, you know, and Rawlins has had a lot more success with their other running back in there as well. Just doing a great job hitting the hole, getting downhill.
And again, as you can see over there, I would call Batman if it was me.
Back to throw. Pump. Lets it fly and reeled in by the Outlaws and a big gain.
That is that guy's game. I would line him up. You're getting single coverage on him every time, and I would throw it up to him jump ball style. He looks like Demarius Thomas out there going up and getting the ball at the top of its pass.
Big gain for the Outlaws. First down moves the chains. 7:14 on the clock. 14-6 Bulldog lead.
An enormous play right now again. And as I was joking earlier, you see on their signs there, that one had big, come and go, Batman. One of those is probably the play call. Here we go.
Right up the middle. He'll try to bounce it outside. Cuts up the middle, makes a nice cut that time. First time we've seen number 8 bring it back to the middle, but he gets a good gain out of it.
I'll tell you what, when you're play calling and on first down you can gain 8 yards, wow, is that a fun second down, my friend.
And Rawlins just inside the red zone, now threatening this Bulldog defense.
I'll tell you what, we had all the momentum going our way as we came out here and scored very quickly to start this second half. And now Rawlins has snatched momentum back in their direction.
And they'll run the option look this time. Romero keeps it. Woo! And in comes Connor. It's Connor Murphy and also Gregory Hickson in on the tackle. But that'll give enough for another first down for the Outlaws. First time we've seen that bone option look, or the first time anyways the quarterbacks kept it.
And I'll tell you what, we had one of our linemen in there. I believe it was Davis Bryson. He was in there, almost made the play in the backfield. He forced that play to go outside. And at the end of the day, Connor Murphy comes in and says, say hello to my little friend, but it is a first down.
And that time they're going to say motion on the offense, and they're going to bring it back 5 yards.
And immediately my eyes are drawn to their star wide receiver, number 5, running single coverage again. He was headed to the center of that end zone. I would throw it up to him all day. You've got to start bracketing him, possibly double coverage him, because they figured it out, and they're going to start throwing it up to him every single time. His name is Hunter Pixler. He is a 6'7", 200-pound wide receiver. And yes, that's a Megatron. That's a Calvin Johnson out there.
Back to throw, and that's exactly where he looks, but covered well. Has to sprint out of the pocket, and he'll just wisely throw it away. And smart decision by the sophomore quarterback for the Outlaws. Going to bring up a long second down.
Imagine the possibilities. If you have a 6'7", 200-pound wide receiver that you can send deep with speed, my goodness. You hear about it in the NFL and at the college level now, high pointing the ball. You get that guy out there on a cornerback. Most cornerbacks nowadays are between 5'10" and 6 foot. So you've got 7 inches, if not 9 inches, on that guy. You just throw it up and go get it at the top of its arc. Let's see who we line up out there now. Now we have number 2 for our Bulldogs out there on that big old receiver, and that's Alex Navarra.
Right up the middle, huge hole, and it might go all the way to the end zone, and it does. Woo! Trapped right up the middle. Just give it, trap the lineman, huge hole, touchdown Rawlins.
And let's think now, you've got that stud receiver and you've got a spread offense. You've thrown it to him multiple times on the outside one-on-one coverage. So when you finally come back and you hand it off up the middle, what else are you going to do? You're going to give it your best, but it ends up being a touchdown for Rawlins. And boy, they have snatched back momentum in this game with the score 20-6 right now. I'll tell you, it's fun play calling when you have those type of opportunities.
Yeah, and that's just zone blocking, Shane. You saw it. They just take their read step, they zone block, they wall off the defenders, and that's what they've been doing all game.
Oh, and it's no good. The optical illusion, it looked like it was going through. So we're still within 14. And as you said, that type of blocking, you don't have to think so much, my friend. You go and you take the guy in front of you in your area and you push them in the opposite direction. So we'll be right back here on MOFFATCOUNTYPROUD.COM. We have our kick return. We got Klemper, center of the return back there.
And it's going to go right to Judd. Oh, that doesn't go to him. Picked up off the ground. And You know what? That's scary. We just said it. We said Joe Campagna was in there, freshman, in the game on kickoff, and he ran up to make the block. Confusion on everybody, and Rawlins ball.
When you have a youngster in there in the center, if you've got that veteran there,
goodness.
he's going to step up and he's going to make a fair catch.
Yeah, and I mean, that is scary. That is a scary place to be when you're a senior, let alone a freshman.
And I don't even know on the kickoff if the fair catch is viable there, but you've got to make that catch is my point, because all of a sudden you step under it, no one's behind you. It's just dropping there, and it's anybody's ball. And what an enormous mistake here.
And they're going for it all, and he's wide open. They do not wait. They take out the dagger and say, turnover, boom, and they go for it and connect.
Yeah, Jared Atkin again having a tough time in coverage back there at cornerback, and that's number 7 again, and that's their other superstar, Lorenzo Abel.
That's, you know, one of those things though, Shane, when you're vanilla coverage and you stay in that coverage, you gotta be very, very fast against a team that's throwing 50% of the time. You gotta mix up your coverages.
Turning point. I'll tell you, a moment ago when we were down by 8, had possession, we thought we had a chance, and we still do. Here's the handoff up the middle. Can we keep him out of the 2? No, he bounced outside in an easy 2-point conversion. And now it's trouble, folks. We've got 5 minutes left in this third quarter, and we're down 28-6. Not feeling good. Different player in the middle there, where they're looking to kick it. They're smart. They don't want to kick it right down there to Klemper. And now it's going to go out of bounds. It's got to get it.
Yeah, just let it go out of bounds. Good decision. And now you take it all the way up on the 35-yard line, or you make them re-kick it.
Again, as we talked about, Rawlins well coached, and they realize at this point you've got Scranton and Klemper back there, who are 2 phenomenal kick and punt returners. So they're kicking it away from him, to the left, to the right, or right down the center straight up. And look what happened moments ago. They're kicking to us, and they kick a perfect pooch punt right down the center. They recover it. It's like an onside kick. It was fumble, but it's basically like an onside kick. One play, they house it. This game's 28-6, and now who knows what direction it's going.
So it's going to bring it all the way up to the 40-yard line for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, that's a pretty sizable penalty, but we've started at the 40 numerous
I thought it was the 35, and I was thinking, did they change the rule? But
Yeah.
I saw the ref walk into the 40. I'm like, okay, maybe I was mistaken. But glad to say I wasn't.
Well, first game of the season for the referees, too.
All right, so trips to the wide side. Blanket coverage over here, 3 men. The Bulldogs will roll to the exact same side again. Atkin does a great job, makes a guy miss. Able to twist and turn and get himself upfield and gets a couple. Good job by Jared Atkin.
Back in that bunched up offense.
Back to throw, shuttle pass. Loss of 6.
Read perfectly, no chance at all for our runner there, and that would be Scranton. He did the best he could, but you had your opportunity there. Now the wide side of the field was your natural direction your quarterback wants to roll, where he's with his body. And if you're not sure what I'm talking about there at home, run right and think about throwing a ball. Then run left and think about turning your body completely around to try to throw it deep. Big difference. So now we're bunched up again in this offense, and who knows what we'll call.
Back to throw. Line gives him good time.
Klemper's
Got Klemper open deep.
Oh, and they had a
out of
hold
there.
of his hands,
At
too.
the last second, the paw came in there from the Outlaw and broke it up. And I'll tell you what, line, excellent job that time by our offensive line. They gave Colby Beaver a lot of time to throw. Good pass by Beaver, but just well covered by the Outlaws last second, getting that hand in there.
And again, Lady Luck just seems to be on Rawlins' side tonight, because if that's an inch further, it drops over those hands. I mean, it was a great job of defense, but Mickey had them beat over the top. And if he catches that, he might not stop till he hits the goal line. Nonetheless, we're punting. Nice punt by our young star there again.
Wrapped up immediately by Navarez. And Rawlins will take over just inside the 45-yard line.
Oh, yeah.
Doubles formation, pistol in the backfield. Back to pass on first down. Has some time. He just lets her fly. we had Alex Navarez back there in good coverage, and the Bulldogs do a good job on first down. It'll be 2nd down and 10 coming up.
You got number 20 running deep back there, which is Jasper Martinez. I'll tell you what, at this point now, you have to, if you're on the positive aspect of trying to figure out the math and do the comeback here, you say, okay, there's 3.5 minutes left in the third quarter. You're down by 3 scores, 22 points, 2 8-pointers and a 6. Here's the handoff up the middle, and a lot of room to run, and he puts his head down and dives forward for a big gain. It's going to bring up 3rd and a long one, about 2 here, and a big play now as far as if you want to stay alive in this game. Every single play is huge now if you're going to have any chance to try to come back here. 3rd down and 2. They are on our side of the field, 49-yard line. Shotgun formation, trips right. There's a handoff right up the middle, number 8. He misses that tackle, falls forward for a big gain. And it's going to be a 1st down, and that's going to keep that clock running and make hope a little further away from our Bulldogs. So I got to tell you, our big old lineman, that is Bryson Davis. Hey, they both sound cool. So Bryson Davis doing a good job getting in there tonight. Several times he's been inches away from making a play. I love to give my big linemen, especially when they're wearing my old numbers, some props. Here's the handoff again. Number 8 busts it to the outside. He's looking to use his speed and break everything outside and makes good positive yardage. Young running backs, you'll see that at the Doak Walker level or Pop Warner or wherever you're at. There's different names, but it's our youth playing football. You'll see a lot of times they get the ball and they always try to pop everything to the outside, and you try to convince them, hey, you got to run between the tackles if that's the play called. 2nd down and 5 here.
Yeah, and anytime you can have a 2nd down and 5, even maybe 4 here, like you said earlier, Shane, man, it opens up the playbook. A lot of things you can do when it's 2nd and short. Back to throw, inside slant route. Call that the skinny post is what I call it. And it's a big gain for the Outlaws. All you got to do is get the edge on the DB, which is what they did, and he put it right on the money.
And right now, I'll tell you what,
and
we don't know.
No, I mean, you got to help out them DBs. You got to get some pressure on that quarterback.
When you've got a 6'7" wide receiver that you can throw it up to at any point in the game, you have to have a couple guys out there. And our cornerbacks are on an island with him, and you can be in perfect position. We've seen it tonight. He's going to go up over the top of you, so that's so hard.
All right, Moffat County football. We'll be right back on Moffat County. Ball spotted on the 6-yard line. 1st and goal for the Outlaws. And they'll put it in the air, believe it or not. Broken up. Nice job by
Reed.
That's Hickson. Good job, Hickson, getting a hand in there and breaking up that pass.
Boy, and Hickson, you know, he might be short in stature, but he is long in heart. And he's been all over this field tonight for these Bulldogs. And we're trying to make a change on defense here. Someone coming in very late. See if they're able to even get set. Luckily for the Bulldogs, they get it done. And that was number 85 coming in. Handoff up the middle.
Number 8 tries to break it outside, and he's got some room as he turns the corner. And he's not going to get in, but he's going to be close. Brings it inside the 2-yard line and going to bring up a 3rd and goal.
They're going to call him out of bounds and celebrate a second too soon there. Tell you what, he just continues to show that speed and break to the outside.
And Shane, a good combination because at number 8, definitely their fastest running back. That kid, strong, quick, great cuts. And then they bring in the other running back, which is, like we said earlier, more of the downhill kid, put his shoulder down, smash it forward. It's a good combination they have with those 2 kids.
Heck yeah, thunder and lightning. Here we go, 3rd down and goal. From about the 2-yard line, I believe, 1-yard line.
Untouched into the end zone, touchdown Rawlins.
Yeah, fell down on his own accord, but now it's getting to be a blowout here on the Bulldogs field, and you hate to even have to say those words, but it's the reality right now. 34-6, and they're going to line up the kick, and now is where you have to get your players, get your heads up, keep your head up, keep playing hard. We came out, had an opportunity to get back in this game, and you got to make a couple plays here. Win the next 4 minutes. You can't worry about what happened in the past.
Rawlins elects to go for the 2-point conversion. They'll sit in that same doubles formation. Back to pass. Well covered that time by Scranton. No good.
Good job.
34-6, 146 on the clock here in the third quarter. We'll be right back with the Bulldogs receiving. Up. Hey,
Yeah.
picked up inside. That was number 27 right there. Joe Campagna back in there, the freshman. This time he takes it. He puts his nose down. Good job, Joe.
Well, we figured, you know, that last time it was a coaching opportunity, so I'm sure they pulled him aside and said, hey, when you're in there in the middle, you've got to jump up and catch that. You can't let it drop behind you. So, my friend, Kip, ever the optimist that I am, I think, well, that was a big two-point conversion that was missed because it keeps them within 28 points, 4 7-pointers.
Hey, we go trips and we go to the other side on the island to Scranton. I like the idea there because what you do is you put Scranton on an island over there, whoever the wideout is. You force man-to-man coverage, and didn't work, but a good idea.
Wait, and what you have there when you're on the outside here to your left, you've got to get an outside release, which Scranton did. That ball has to be passed up over the left side of your shoulder. Scranton ends up having to play defense just to knock it away from his defender because it's thrown to the inside where the corner is. And I know it's tough, you've got pressure back there, but that ball has to be on the outside shoulder to the sideline if you're going to run that route and throw that ball.
Well, and I'll give credit where credit's due to Colby Beaver because he's came in first time starting, and man, he's taken some licks, Shane. I mean, he's been on the ground several times, and yet he's holding his own. He's staying in there in the pocket, and he's playing tough.
He'd love to get that opportunity to add a touchdown into that ratio. And here we go, back in that bunched up offense.
And Hickson with a great catch, and
they blew the whistle before.
Inadvertent whistle. That's inadvertent whistle, and which is too bad because Hickson was going to have a huge gain there.
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely there was interference, but
yeah.
blew the whistle before the play was dead.
Well, and I think that's what happened is he saw the interference and blew the whistle, and you know, unfortunately, bad break for
from the
for
peanut
Bulldogs.
gallery. We hear could be soccer referees. I have no idea who that was. Kip, what happens there is there was interference on the play, and I believe the official thought that the ball had hit the ground, so he calls it dead. We do get the penalty yardage, which is a positive, but man, we had a receiver running downfield with the ball.
To Beaver, pitch outside to Atkin. He's trying to get to the edge, makes the guy miss, and takes a lick there. Maybe gets a yard, and a big hit by the Outlaws.
I'll tell you what, that's Brad Williams who came in like a missile and hits us, but we jump right up, and it's a whole lot of running for 1 yard to the outside. And if there's ever a moment when you're down 28-0 when you absolutely have to have something happen, it's going to be this drive. We've only got a minute 18 left here in this third quarter. 34-6 is the deficit. And we really came out after half, and we had a fire lit under us, it seemed, and we were running the spread offense, and now we're back to this convoluted, bunched up offense.
Back goes Beaver. He's got some time. Flushed out of the pocket, goes to the near side and wisely gets rid of it. And who's downfield, Shane? I don't see one blue jersey downfield in a route, so not sure if it's a broken play or one receiver route. Not sure exactly what happened there, but no receiver downfield.
No, I guarantee our quarterback was thinking to himself, where's my receivers? And again, the beauty of having this on MOFFATCOUNTYPROUD.COM, you could rewind that and look. I think the linemen and the skill position players thought it was a run call, and the quarterback ran a pass rollout. That's how you get hurt.
Bulldogs back in the pro position, pro formation, and pick six for the not what you wanted to happen.
But yeah, there you go, your quad. 4 interceptions on the night, and that one's thrown right to the defender. And it's high school football. You got to look at it this way. You've got to see the underneath, whether it's your linebacker or your cornerback. You're rolling right, put it right on the money to the defender, and he scores to the house, and now we've got a blowout going on here at Moffat County Field.
2-point conversion attempt for the Outlaws. Back to throw. Sends it over the middle and out of the back of the end zone. No good, 40-6. We're at 1 minute left here in the third quarter. Outlaws. And going to head this time to Alex Navarez. He'll take it up, heads right up the middle. Tries to pop it to the outside, and he's going to be, no, makes the guy miss. Good job, cuts back across the middle. Little shake and bake inside, nice cuts. Somehow he stays on his feet. He runs for about 35 yards to gain 3.
Yeah, I really thought that if he'd have kept going outside to the right, he might take it, but he cut back one time too many. But what great effort just to gain any yards on that one.
Absolutely good effort. That's what we like to see out of our boys, and they are definitely giving it what they got.
Well, Moffat County again, they had great success when they spread it out, but not going to do that. And they're finally going to put it in their big back's hands, and he's a load, and he's going to not have any luck gaining yards either, but I'm just glad to see them put it in his hands. And actually, he did fall forward for a bunch more after contact. So there you go. We thought early in this game we were going to put it in the Biscotti man's hands early and often, and I believe that's the first time.
Atkin wrapped up in the backfield. Loss of 2. And that'll end it at the third quarter. 40-6 is the score in favor of the Outlaws. I want to say thank you to all of our Moffat County Proud sponsors. Severson Supply and Rental, the Memorial Hospital, Bank of Colorado, Victory Motors, Hatton Enterprises, Miller Family Appliance, 3B Enterprises, Cornerstone Realty, GCR Tires and Service, Precision Auto Service, 360 Insurance Company, Mountain West Insurance, Kramer Flooring, McDonald's, Duran and Pierce Contractors, Cook Chevrolet Ford and Subaru, Country Living Realty, Draper Insurance Group, Great Divide Cleaning Service, Chaos Inc., Young Life, Rocky Mountain Machinery, your Kubota dealer, Eppin Associates, Rocky Mountain Automotive, Colorado Northwestern Community College, Identity Graphics, Craig Veterinary Hospital, Craig Family Dental, Brass Key Realty, Mountain Air Spray. I want to say thank you to all of our sponsors for helping us bring you Moffat County football on demand. Moffat County will set up in the double wing in a 3rd and 7 situation. Beaver back to pass, has a man open in the flat. It's going to be a big first down for the Bulldogs. That's what we want to see. Maybe the biggest play of the night for the Bulldogs. And first down here to begin the fourth quarter. Bulldogs sitting in that double wing again. Dominic in motion. They'll counter it back. It's got some running room. And a nice gain for the Bulldogs as they pick up 5. That's a counter to Dario Alexander, sophomore.
Here we go, Bulldogs in that shotgun formation. Trying to make something positive. Oh, and we get crushed.
Beaver takes a lick,
completion,
but
though.
Nice completion by the Bulldogs. Over there on the reception is Cale Scranton. And I'm telling you what, Shane, Beaver's going to have to get the ice packs on tomorrow because he has taken a beating tonight back there.
Yeah, and the immortal words of Steve Smith Sr., ice up, son.
Yeah, really, I'm extremely proud of Colby coming in as a first-time starting, and great composure, has made some really good decisions, and great effort. Trips, motion to the trip side to quad, high snap. Beaver able to pull it back in. It's got a guy open in the flat, hits him. Can't reel it in as Teeter. Incomplete. Brings up 4th down and 4.
Showed a good ability there, though, to improvise. I believe that play was initially meant to go to number 13. And you can see he's like, hey, give me the ball, but the timing was totally off. So Beaver made a good decision. He rolled right, put it on somebody's hands. Play wasn't made. And now 4th down and 4. And, of course, the Bulldogs are going to go for it with this 34-point deficit. We'll be up in Denver next week at the Ridgeview Academy calling your Bulldogs game, and hopefully we can have a better outcome than tonight, but we'll stick with you right here as there's going to be a timeout for Rawlins. So we'll be right back here on MOFFATCOUNTYPROUD.COM. So, Bulldogs in that bunched up formation. Handoff up the middle, and
Atkin with a nice cut. Good run. He picks up the first down. His longest run of the night, 10-yard gain. To the near side. Rawlins with a lot of player changes as they'll bring in a lot of subs. Here comes another one running in late. And screen to the wide side. Atkin makes a nice move, makes a guy miss. Puts his head down, drives forward, and he's got another 10-yard gain, and it looks to be another first down.
I will say that is the first play. The tendency 100% was broken. We went away from where we had our trips receivers, and it was a good positive play. So there's one thing.
Bulldogs, ball spotted at the 20-yard line.
Bulldogs just inside the red zone. 9 minutes on the clock. And just tipped out of there by number 15 of the Outlaws. Really looking for the deep out. It was Navarez in the corner. Good defense by the Outlaws. 8:55. Beaver back to pass. Bulldogs in that double tight formation. They send one wide receiver out.
Nice
Scranton
catch.
pulls it in nicely. 10-yard out route.
Beautiful. Over the shoulder, pulls that in. He's still playing his heart out for this Bulldog team right now as we head down to...
First and goal for the Bulldogs. Right up the middle is Atkin. He piles ahead and he's in for the touchdown. His second on the night. And he's pumped. That's what we want to see. He's excited. There's no quitting him. Good job by the offensive line there, leading the way.
Bulldogs going for two-point conversion. A late arriving defender run right up the middle at him. Wow, that looked like it was going to be successful, and it is.
14-40. Bulldogs are...
Hey, they pulled within
Chip
26.
away. That's right. 8:45 on the clock, fourth quarter. We'll be right back. MOFFATCOUNTYPROUD.COM. Onside chain maybe? 40-14?
Yeah, I would definitely try the onside kick right here. If you've got it in the playbook, which there it is. Not a bad onside kick. Oh, but it's just barely a little bit too much oomph. But I like the idea, and I like the kick. It bounces that fourth hop. It pops up in the air. If it comes off that guy's hands, you got a chance. And so now we're going to have our defense coming back on the field with the score 40-14 with 8:44 left in this contest here on MOFFATCOUNTYPROUD.COM.
So new quarterback in, new offense in here with 8:44 left for the Outlaws. And they'll just stay with what they've been doing. Little zone read up the middle. Good for a couple.
There you go, Rawlins in there big time. Two wide receivers left, two wide receivers right. Spread us out, send them up the middle. And once again, I'm going to call out my big man, number 79 in the middle of the line for our Bulldogs. He's been involved in a lot of plays tonight. He's done a great job. There you go. It's a big third down here in the fourth quarter. Quarterback just gets back out on the field. He's got to be exhausted. He sprinted from the far side. He's excited to be out there handing the ball off, though. He's going to sprint right. He's got the edge, and the Bulldogs take themselves out. But there's the last man, last line defense makes the tackle for the Bulldogs. Could you see who that was, Kip? I couldn't quite
see on that far across the field, but going to bring up a fourth down. Good stop by the Bulldogs and a punting situation for the Outlaws.
Here we go, already making our travel plans for next week to Denver and Ridgeview Academy. Here's the punt for Rawlins. It's returnable on the bounce. Klimper's got it. Let's see if he can add to his all-state return statistics. He's got a chance. Oh, and what a great tackle by number 8. But that's one of the stars for Rawlins against one of the stars for Moffat County. We'll be right back here on MOFFATCOUNTYPROUD.COM.
Beaver still in at quarterback. And hits the quick out route.
Bulldogs with a single wide receiver right and left. Gonna roll right, but no time. He gets a chance. He gives himself
and he's
some
got
time,
a guy
and
open.
he had a man.
And that's one of those hard things. You have the broken play, and as a receiver, a lot of times when that happens, you break from your route and you come back and get open for your quarterback, and just out of reach.
40-14. Third down and long for your Bulldogs against a host of backups for Rawlins.
And does a good job avoiding getting crushed there, and then makes a great pass because Rawlins had an outside linebacker or defensive end that came in untouched, and Beaver makes him miss and then throws a dart out there to Scranton.
Here we go. Bunch offense.
Oh, broken play, ball on the ground, and Rawlins has it.
Ball's on the ground, and the Outlaws recover.
So the Bulldogs off that turnover, the 5th of the night. And Kip, we were talking about how classy this Rawlins coach was, because with about 2 minutes left in the third quarter, and this score was sitting at 40-6, he put massive wholesale changes in. A lot of his young future stars, a lot of freshmen, a lot of backups came into this game, and they have been in there since a minute was left in this third quarter. Reserves.
And Rawlins just letting the clock run before they snap that ball. Just waiting on the back judge back there. They watch the back judge. When they begin to count, then they snap the ball and they just use up that play clock. So wisely, they keep it on the ground and eat up more clock. 3rd and long. Rawlins with some really good play calling tonight, Shane. Able to just spread the field. They mixed it up. You saw screens. You saw the inside zone read. You saw the keep on that. Really hitting you anywhere and everywhere. So great job by their coaching staff. Got to hand it to them as they spread the field and utilize all their weapons. So 4th down, and Rawlins is just going to keep that second team O in there, and they're going to go for it here. And they're going to get a delay of game penalty. It'll back them up 5 yards, and now maybe they'll punt.
Here we go, Rawlins punting. And that's a nice punt. Let's see if we can get a return here. One chance to make some magic happen, and Klimper makes the first 3 miss. And he says, I'm not going to go down easy, even though at this point some interest has been lost. Murphy in at quarterback, and he looks quick, and he throws it right away. A nice throw as he sprints right. And got to make this point again, Kip. Rawlins coaches very classy with about a minute left in that third quarter. They brought in all of their reserves when the score was 40-6. So it's been an entire quarter of backups, reserves, and freshmen. Young men getting an opportunity to play. Now our Bulldogs put in some of their young players with 2:49 left to get a chance to play.
Yeah, great job by Connor Murphy there. He put it right on the money. Murphy rolls left that time. He's hits a swarm of guys, and he just gets rid of it.
3 guys, and all of a sudden you want to play a high school quarterback?
Yeah, and then you realize why quarterbacks are tough.
Yeah, I remember a few times back in the day, a million years ago when I played, you have that one chance, you're a lineman, and they say, okay, we'll let you take the snap, and then you drop back, and you're like, oh my goodness, it's not as fun and glorious as it looks. A lot of decisions that have to be made when you're taking that snap back there.
3rd and 1 for the Bulldogs. Direct snap, but on the ground, and they're going to lose about 5 on it. It was going to be a direct snap, but ends up on the ground.
And I don't have 85 on my sheet, but good job by that young man. So tried to make something out of it, but now you've got 4th and 6, where it was going to be 4th and 1, even if you didn't gain anything. And folks, there's no doubt here. You got to go back to the drawing board. You got 1 week basically to prepare for a tough trip and a tough place to play on the road at the Ridgeview Academy. And there's a throw out of bounds.
Tries to hit Connor Etzler, but sails out of bounds. Incomplete.
There you go. We've got all the Bulldogs up on the line.
Oh, ball's on the ground, and you know what you saw there was Rawlins was setting up in victory formation. They were going to take a knee and just eat up the clock is exactly what they were going to do, and they snapped the ball when they're not ready. And Moffat County might have just got it back. Let's see what the ref says here. There's a flag. I'm not sure what it's for.
Without words, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they lined up like they were just going to take a knee and eat up this clock.
And you know,
the next thing you know, you see a snap go off someone's, I don't know if it went off his chest or his helmet. You'll be able to watch it and see. Either way, it was on the ground.
Yeah,
and now there's a flag on the ground, so who knows?
There's a gathering. Maybe it hit an illegal player. Maybe they have to call that. I mean, whatever point in the game, if it hits a lineman first, I don't know.
So right now, they're going to call an unsportsmanlike penalty on the Bulldogs, and then coach talks to everybody, and I don't know why we only got 9 guys on the field, but we're going to have 9 guys on defense on this field, on this play.
You know,
no one's saying anything.
There's 10 in there.
Well, now we got 10 on the field. We're still short 1. 2 minutes on the clock. Let me make sure I'm right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 10 guys on the field. And I don't know.
Well, I can make a collation of that. I was watching the
Shane,
old...
go down there and jump on there, buddy.
I can do it. I was watching the classic Monday Night Football game where you had Joe Montana and the Kansas City Chiefs against John Elway and the Broncos back in the day at Mile High Stadium. And believe it or not, the play that gave the Broncos the lead at the end of that game had 10 players on the field. Now, the referees tried to call a penalty saying that there wasn't enough men on the line of scrimmage, but there was actually 7, which is the rule, even though there was 1 short. So Elway ran up the middle to give us a 28-24 lead
Hey,
over the
there
minute
we go,
45.
Shane. There it is. We got it figured out now. Oh, now we got 12.
No, I'm telling a good Elway story. Stop. Okay, so at the minute 45, Elway gave us the lead with the quarterback running up the middle, but too much
And now we're
time
back to
for
10
Joe
again.
Montana.
We're back to 10 again, man. I was like, hey, we're having fun, man. I'll tell you what. Really pleased with the effort of our kids tonight, Shane. No quitting them. They need to really refocus and bounce back next week. Ridgeview Academy. And Ridgeview Academy, one of them scary teams. It's a boys' school down there, and you got to be prepared because you can always count on 1 or 2 kids down there that are just an athlete, that have speed, that can make things happen. So Bulldogs got to be ready to go next week. They're going to have to regroup, get it together, and bounce back. 40-14 is how it's going to end here at Moffat County High School.
Hey, man, I'm telling you what, number 8 just did a backflip for Vernal. That's the most exciting thing I've seen this entire second half.
Hey, want to say thank you to all of our sponsors: Severson Supply and Rental, the Memorial Hospital, Bank of Colorado, Victory Motors, Hatton Enterprises, Miller Family Appliance, 3B Enterprises, Cornerstone Realty, GCR Tires and Service, Precision Auto Service, 360 Insurance Company, Mountain West Insurance, Kramer Flooring, McDonald's, DNP Contractors, Cook Chevrolet Ford Subaru, Country Living Realty, Draper Insurance Group, Great Divide Cleaning Service, Chaos Inc., Young Life, Rocky Mountain Machinery, your Kubota dealer, Epp & Associates, Rocky Mountain Automotive, Colorado Northwestern Community College, Identity Graphics, Craig Veterinary Hospital, Craig Family Dental, Brass Key Realty, and Mountain Air Spray. Folks, thanks for being with us tonight on MOFFATCOUNTYPROUD.COM. We'll be back next week with more Bulldog football.